Oh yeah.
Good morning. Jenny is on.
Oh look, we finally have the little thing.
We do. I'm going to peek real quick to see. Yep. So Jenny is the first one on.
Hopefully it doesn't just disappear.
We'll see. Um. So wow, Monday, lots of sirens happening. I don't know what's happening here.
I'm sure we'll find out through Facebook soon enough.
We live in the big city now. So good to have you on, Jenny. And I put the church merch store back on, even though Jenny's got her Java and Jesus cap already. So she's styling. I've got my Java and Jesus mug, even though you can't see it unless I raise it. There we go. That's cool. Yeah, I'm trying to keep your store up to date, add some stuff on there.
We have some really cool stuff.
And so our student retreat, fall student retreat's coming up, and you can get the shirt on there. Good morning, Jim. Jim Bob is here. You get men's ministry stuff there. I don't really have anything for women's ministry. You get a prize for being first. Yeah, you're styling. So maybe we can work on some women's ministry stuff we can put on there. The ladies can represent. Yeah, gosh, I don't know why, but I'm having trouble keeping up with what day's what anymore. And I'm not retired. I'm not like Dennis. I haven't seen Dennis. Dennis may have forgotten that it's Monday. I need to message Dennis and make sure he's okay. But I'm having trouble. Like, I don't know. Life's coming at me too fast. So last week, Saturday, took Mom to El Paso. She wanted to go do some. Oh, Dennis is there. I was just talking about you, man. Talking about I'm having trouble keeping up with what day it is, and I said I'm not even retired. And so Dennis, he probably set reminders because he's a pretty organized kind of guy. But took Mom to El Paso on Saturday. We did some shopping and had a date day, we called it. And I couldn't, half the time on Saturday, I'm like, what day is today? what day is it? My big concern is when I come back from sabbatical that it's going to be worse. I don't know.
You're not going to know.
I don't know. I need to, but I'm looking forward to it. So Hiller and I were now the cruise isn't part of the sabbatical. That's vacation and celebration. But we were looking at some stuff on the cruise. So it's kind of cool. Watched a little video tour of the ship that we're going to be on. So looking forward to that. On that one, it is easy to lose track of days because, I mean, you're just on a boat.
Yeah.
It's a big boat, but 3,000 of your closest friends plus 1,800 crew. But it'll be fun. We found, and I think all Carnival ships have this. It's a place called Serenity, and it sounds kind of weird the way they put it. The adult lounge is not that way, but it's just where kids can't go. So if you want to go somewhere and sit and be quiet, good morning, Bethany, then you can go up to that. And so and it's all hot tub.
Yep.
So that's cool.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, all kinds of, man, I tell you. It'll be a blast, but we have a lot happening between now and then.
Quite a lot.
So this week, See You at the Pole is
I
Wednesday.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I know, huh? See You at the Pole is 7:00, 7 a.m. this Wednesday morning, and it's that way. It really seems to have come up fast, and in talking with some of the teachers of the school, they've been actually even more shocked. But the reason, so we don't set the date for that. See You at the Pole International, I guess they are now. They do that, but it's usually, and I think it's the fourth Wednesday of September. I don't know if it's the fourth one or last one. Sometimes there's 5, but the last Wednesday of September at 7 a.m. And so that is that way all across the world. Actually, it's now beyond the United States into other countries, and so that'll happen 7 o'clock wherever you are. So Bethany, they get to do that an hour earlier. And where Dennis is, they'll be an hour earlier. So that's coming up. So we got some
Really
big stuff.
fast.
Yeah, happening
Yep.
for that. The September, and then October 13th, 14th is our student retreat.
Mhm.
So that'll be fun. And then we have Fall Festival,
Fall Festival.
which is just
Huge.
yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's a big deal that we do. So we're gonna have to get on that. So that's October, and then November, 20-year anniversary celebration. That'll be fun.
Yep.
So got to get ready for that. Also, we're doing that little thing about giving out Thanksgiving baskets.
Oh
the
yeah,
Thursday
just the
before
little
that.
thing. Yeah.
The Thursday
It's a
before
little
that,
thing.
which is one of our biggest community give kind of things that we do.
Mhm.
And then Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
And then the gingerbread bash,
In December.
which is a really big kids thing. Actually, it's a family thing that we
Right.
do.
I think it's really cool though. So in Gingerbread Bash, what they do is that there's the Christmas story. Someone tells the Christmas story, and then as a family, you build a nativity scene, and there's instructions, and there's like graham crackers, and like we dye like coconut yellow to look like hay, and like there's little like figures like Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus and the animals. And as a family, you build the nativity scene, and then you tell each other the story.
Right.
And I think that's super cool. I think sometimes we get away from like what the true meaning of Christmas is as a family.
Right.
And, I think that to me is a really cool event to see families like get together and like, some families know the Christmas story, some families don't. And I think it's a really cool way to be reminded or to know the Christmas story.
The big idea behind the gingerbread bash is to equip families to do a Christmas tradition together.
Right.
And so even though they may know the story, most families, I would say that, I'm guessing, most families don't have a time where they sit down and do a thing that tells the Christmas story together.
Right.
And of course, we do that as a church. We have a Christmas Eve service, and we come alongside as a church. But what we want to do, and that's the cool thing about Gingerbread Bash, is it really helps families get together and do it. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. And then Hope graduates. God, that's crazy.
I know.
And then Christmas.
And Christmas.
Yeah. Happy New Year,
Yay!
everybody. Just saying. Last year I kept teasing saying that Thanksgiving is next week, but it's gonna feel like it. It's really gonna feel like it.
What was it? During the conference on one of the sessions, I was sitting there and they're talking about like planning and administrative work and like what stuff goes into that. And one of them was like, yeah, so like when you're sitting down and planning for like, I don't know, like Fall Festival. And I'm like, Fall Festival, that's a long ways away. And she's like, well, you're going to blink and it's going to already be, Thanksgiving. And I was like, wow, Fall Festival is really only just a couple weeks away.
So, good morning, Vicki. We're talking about everything that's happening calendar-wise and how quick it's coming along. So I'm just going to peek. Excuse me. I'm going to peek and see. So today is the 25th. Fall Festival.
This is 28th.
28th. So it is a month and 3 days.
But we're gonna blink and it's gonna be Fall Festival.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Yep. That's also early voting day. I don't know if you guys knew that. I just see that on my calendar here.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a whole lot of fun. But yeah, man, that's happening quick. And in church life, a month means like next week.
Nothing.
You know, that's.
And I think that's kind of like my thing is like when people ask me like, well, what are you guys doing? It's like, okay, so you're like, to me, I'm listing out all these events and they're like, oh, but that's not till like the end of October. But it's not, like, like we really need to be advertising now.
Yeah, somebody asked that yesterday. We had a leadership meeting and they said, are we advertising already for Fall Festival? We're like, no, man.
Yeah. At least need to wait till October,
But for me, yeah, here's how I kind of look at it. Although we probably should just like take a big planning time and schedule, because you can schedule posts way out, or at least have an advertising schedule, how we're going to promote it. But I'm not a real big fan of promoting an event before the next one happens. For example,
right.
See You at the Pole is Wednesday, so
Right.
after See You at the Pole, in my
Then
mind,
we
then
can go
then I
ahead.
start thinking that we promote,
which
the
I
next
think is a
event big.
good practice, because I feel like, I know as an administrator, it's more pressure. Like, then I have to get flyers and stuff done like months in advance. But then I also know, like, you know, as church members, that can be like really overwhelming and confusing too.
Yeah.
So like, one of the confusing things was when we did both of the raffles at the same time.
Yeah, they
Like,
overlap.
it was really confusing, because you're all like, okay, so one ticket's $20, one ticket is $10. Which one's which?
One
Who
of them's a
do
wood
I see
splitter,
with
the
who?
other is for a quarter of a beef.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, the wood splitter was given away
To
I want to say Darla Welch or something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
And they picked it up.
Oh, cool.
I got a picture. So.
Well, I put in some money for the quarter of a beef, so
Did you?
I hope I get it.
Yeah. Actually, so in today's market, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, if you figure, yeah, I don't know, if you only get 400 pounds out of a steer of meat, that's 100 pounds of meat. That's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Unfortunately, if you've never done that before, it's a little confusing. So you think, okay, I want mine all in sirloin or ribeye. It just doesn't work that way.
Right.
It just kind of what comes out. You just take it divided by 4. And, so anyhow, if I got all hamburger meat, I'd be all right with it. Although a few steaks are nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're looking. This is the last week of September.
Yep.
This week is, because in Sunday's the 1st. Is that right?
Yes.
October 1st is on a Sunday. Yeah. So we're blowing and going. So Vicky's just sitting there laughing because Vicky retired.
Yeah.
So she's helping a church, but it's a lot different when you're like
helping,
not the one that has to plan everything.
Because that's what everyone after summer was like, oh, cool, so you guys get to slow down, right? And I'm like, I don't know what slow down means.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never experienced that.
So we should probably get in the habit of doing a big planning workshop every year and put stuff on. Yeah, let's put that on the calendar for next year, shall we?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
She's having flashbacks.
There was one time, Vicky, that my dad and I did this on a Monday, and my sister called him and said, you guys like gave me so much like anxiety, and I feel so overwhelmed with all this stuff.
You guys stressed me out.
Sorry, we will kind of stress ourselves out too.
Yeah, sometimes hope is the silent stalker on here. We have a few that do that, actually, that watching.
You know, I haven't seen Christina in a while pop up.
I know. Yeah, we should talk about them. That's usually when she chimes in.
Yeah.
There's a conference that Michael told me about, and it's during my sabbatical, but I don't know if I could be able to go to it. It'd be fun to go. It's one where he has a booth.
Oh, cool.
For his film. Which kind of, I don't know if you probably know about that. Universe Designed is the film that Michael's doing, and I'm just blown away. I think he's only got 1 or 2 more interviews, but he's already putting the film.
Well, we
together.
saw a sneak peek of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, it is so good.
Yeah. So he's already in the editing process of that. But then I have another friend. I don't know if you remember Matt and Nancy McCauley from Fort Worth, and Matt just finished his movie.
Oh, okay.
Called Undefiled. That's funny. Yeah. Universe Designed, and Matt's is called Undefiled, and his is not too far away from being released. They've already done. He sent his out for editing, post editing, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool to two people cool. Doing movies. So I was like, Matt, why didn't you do that when you were at our church? So, anyways, lots of stuff happening. If you don't have the church app, download the church app. We're going to try to do some more stuff. There's more that we can do than we are. the church app is called Church Center.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to put in your location and find our church. And it's easy to identify by the logo
Yes, we
that
do
we
have a
have up there.
logo.
Yeah. So, and to do more stuff through the church app. And you guys, I get all geeky and techie about this stuff, but there's so much more. You know, we went to some conference. Well, the conference we went to some workshops, breakout sessions. There's so much more we can do. And on our side, the back end of that is called Planning Center. That's what we do. We put the stuff in there. But for you guys, Church Center, and you can even go to, I think, you can try this just for fun, churchcenter.com /FBC Cloudcroft. See what happens when you do that.
Yeah.
Let me try that. I'm going to try it for you real quick. Dennis is probably all over it because Dennis is good with that kind of thing. In Bible study, Dennis will he'll already have it up. Sorry. So www.church .com /FBC Cloudcroft. See what happens. Looking for your church. So that's not it. What I just told
Don't
you.
do that.
FBC Cloudcroft. Oh well. I'll figure that out for Wednesday and get it to you. Although, you know, that made me think I should put a link to that on our website.
Oh yeah.
So you can go to the link, because some people didn't work for you either. Yeah. I know I've got it somewhere because here I can probably do this from the app. So some people, and I'm this way too, like if I got to fill out forms, my phone is not the best way for me to fill out those kind of forms. I'm going to go to the events, signups. Let me do that. There's some of them I know I look at and it says go to in review in Church Center. I'm looking for one I can click.
None of them that you can click.
No, I didn't put them on there. Anyhow, I'll find that for you, and wow, I'll find it for you and put the link in for next time. I just tried to click on a group. It told me I didn't have access to that group.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll fix that. I can work on that on the back end.
Yeah.
But for some it might just be easier to bookmark that tab and look at it on your computer. But that's the computer version of the app. It's Church Center. So that's way cool. Lots of other stuff. A lot of stuff happening, going on. Trying to keep up with posting everything everywhere is a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hopping in. I'm gonna let you guys go. Let me pray for you guys and send you off into your week. And then on Wednesday, Jim and I are going to unpack the message from this last week. Anybody remember the title of the message this last week? Do you remember? I'm already on next week's message. So. Let me give you the
I
title.
was watching Miss Patty Cake.
I know. The title of the message for next week. Let me give it to you.
Sure.
Next week is the end of the beginning. That's the title for next week. This one is the question. And look at three guys that the question that really matters is, who is Jesus? And so we're looking in Luke, end of chapter 22 into chapter 23, I think is right, or chapter 23 and track 24, I forget. Looking at the way the religious leaders answered that question,
Mm-hmm.
the way that King Herod answered the question, and the way that Pilate answered the question, and then the way that we answer the question. So we'll unpack that on Wednesday with Jim Bob. Jim, what was it in Junie B. Jones? Philip, Johnny, Jim, Billy, Joe, Bob Jr. is my name for him. Philip, Johnny, Bob was the elephant on Junie B. Jones. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. That's probably okay. Let me pray for you. Lord, thank you for your love, for the way that you take care of us, for the way that you work in our hearts. I pray that, Lord, you would continue to do that. God, with all the activities, everything that we have going on, it just seems overwhelming, crazy, busy, sometimes stressful and hectic. God, help us to remember the reason we do that, all those things, is so that we can make connections with people and lead them into a life-changing relationship with Jesus. And so, God, help us to do that well. And God, we pray that as we do, Lord, that you would get all the glory and honor and praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Thanks for hopping in, guys. And we will see you on Wednesday. That's kind of hard to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking to make sure I didn't miss any chat. Sometimes I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
Love you guys. See you later.